My name's Alex. All That's Left Politics is my channel, and I keep meaning to use this channel to do something, talk about politics and some other stuff going on, current events, etc., etc. But here's the thing: just been really busy. I got a pregnant wife. I still work in the middle of this coronavirus outbreak, so I don't really have a lot of free time. So I'm just kind of making this on the spur of the moment. Here's the thing. The coronavirus is not a punishment from anybody's God. The stuff I have seen people posting online, I know, I get it, people have their religions, whatever, but if you think that your God has sent this coronavirus to stop us from idolizing celebrities and all these kind of people that people pay attention to, athletes, musicians, etc., if you think that your God is so jealous of people paying attention to those people, which I have a problem with that as well, celebrity worship, etc., idol worship, I have a problem with that as well. And you think that your God is so jealous of that he's going to send a deadly virus to kill a bunch of old people who probably aren't even participating in this celebrity worship that is going on, you are stupid. I'm sorry, but you are. Here's the thing. As I said, it's mostly old people that are dying from this. So it's mostly old people that are suffering from it because that's who it attacks. Old people and the immunocompromised. And you think that somehow your God is going to say, hey, I'm going to shut the country down so that they pay attention to me. That's pathetic. If he's supposed to be this uber omnigalactical powerhouse of ruling the entire universe, etc., how are you going to sit there and say, oh man, he thinks that we need to pay attention to him instead of our celebrities? Because that just shows that he's a freaking wimp that can't stand when people don't look in his direction. And I thought that's what humans have a problem with, But then again, in the Bible, it does say that his name is jealousy at one point. So whatever, I guess it's technically within the canon that he would behave that way. But it's pathetic. And this is the being that you worship as your perfect, ultimate God. That's sad and disgusting. And the other thing is, how do you know that it's an act of God? How did you determine that? The way I see it, there are three possibilities in the world. Either everything is an act of God, only some things, but not other things, are acts of God, or nothing is an act of God. And the first two are completely self-contradictory. Because if everything is an act of God, nothing matters at that point anyways, because it's all just going to happen anyways. This is just him watching a movie that he wrote, And at that point, why does anything matter? Because it's just playing out a script. Is he being entertained by it? No, because he already knew what was going to happen because he wrote it. And us, we just have to suffer the things that he's forced us to experience. That means everything is a forced experience upon us. That's pretty bad. Seems pretty terrible, but at least I guess that one's technically coherent, right? Then you got the second option. Some things are acts of God and other things aren't. How do you determine which things are and which things aren't? Seriously, how do you know? How do you know that the coronavirus was sent by God to stop us from worshiping our idols? How do you know? You can't, unless you somehow have communication with God. And if you think you're hearing God's voice, cliche as it may sound, please go get psychiatric help, because you're not hearing God. I promise. Okay? If you can tell me what it is that actually convinced you that this coronavirus is from a God, the thing that probably convinced you was probably your pastor, not any actual legitimate reasoning. Okay? And then we have option number 3. Nothing is an act of God, and things happen because they're caused by other things. To me, that seems the most logical, right? It seems to be the way things are anyways. If the coronavirus was an act of God, was the bird flu and the swine flu and all the things that people have been scared of recently, were those all acts of God too? Did he try to make those stop us from worshiping our celebrities, but it just didn't work? Did God fail? Can God fail in your worldview? I don't think most of the time most people consider that God can fail. At least, I'm in America, so most people I know that worship a God are Christian or Muslim, any variety of those. So you're kind of giving your God this weakness of either he didn't do those, or he did all of them and some of them didn't work, or he did none of them and all of them just happen to be things that occur because that's just the way that the universe operates. Seems to me like the third one is the only one that doesn't have any true problems. I could be wrong, and I'd like somebody to try to show me why they think they would be more accurate than I am, but I don't think anyone could at this point. Also, plain and simple, don't pay attention to Trump, don't pay attention to CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. They don't care. They're corporations. Here's the thing. Those corporations want to get money back from the government, this $500 billion bailout that they're going to get. So CNN isn't telling you about that. MSNBC isn't telling you about that. Even though they're technically center-leaning, you know, some people think they're left-leaning. They're not. They're center-leaning. Those news media companies only want to make sure that the corporate businesses that pay advertisements in their news are allowed to continue. Because if there's no Pepsi, if there's no Chevrolet, if those things go under, who's going to pay for commercials on CNN, right? So CNN doesn't want those corporations to go under either. No, the people that you need to pay attention to that actually care about workers and are on the internet every day telling you how much they care about workers and how much they want to do for workers are people like Bernie Sanders, Ilhan Omar, these kind of people. They're politicians. Yes, politicians are problematic in a lot of ways, but these people give a crap about you. Trump doesn't give a crap about you. Trump cares about his rich friends staying rich so that he can stay rich. Biden, no, sorry. I don't like Biden either. I didn't like him to begin with, but all this stuff that's been happening recently, man, this guy, I get it. He's old. He's having problems. But that doesn't mean that he should be allowed to be president at this point. He's clearly not mentally, sufficient, I guess, to rule an entire, not rule, but lead an entire country, especially like America. We have a lot of stuff going on here. We need a very, very competent person leading the country. Bernie Sanders, I think, could do it. Trump has been shown, he has shown us that he cannot competently lead this country. A lot of people online right now are just going off and getting crazy and saying, wow, Trump is doing such a good job, even though he's already trying to end the social distancing, the guidelines that we've put in place to make sure that people don't get sick. He's like, it's going to end by Easter in the middle of April. Like, no, that's not how pandemics of pathogens work. Viruses don't just decide to quit after 2 weeks because they didn't infect enough people. Okay, there are going to be more and more people getting sick. That's how this works. It's exponential. One person gets 2 people sick. Those get 4 people sick. Those get 8 people sick, etc., etc. This social distancing must continue, I think. And, you know, I don't have really a lot of data. I don't have the science to back me up. And I would definitely advise you to listen to people who are scientifically literate, because I understand and I appreciate science, but I am not a scientist. I'm not a pathologist in any sort of way. I don't know hardly anything about virology or anything like that. Find the people who know those things and talk to them. Listen to what they have to say and listen to their recommendations. Stay away from public places. Stay away from unnecessary meetings with friends. Stay away from unnecessary trips to different places that you need to buy things. If you feel like, oh man, I want to go buy a new video game. Everybody's talking about Animal Crossing. Don't go buy a physical copy. Buy digital games, you know? Go buy digital movies. Get some, I don't like corporations. I've said this in the beginning of this, obviously. But sit there and watch some Disney Plus, some Netflix. Or, actually, what I'd really love for people to do, explore something you're interested in. Find something that you like to do. Get yourself busy. Find a hobby that you like. I'm going to try to use some of this time to post on here. I'm going to try to use some of this time to increase my Korean language skills. I'm going to try to use some of this time to do my other channel, which is Gaming Center, where I'm going to be streaming video games, if you want to check that out. Do something, build something, learn something, think about something. Life is not about work. Everybody is talking about how they can't wait to go back to work. They're sad they can't work. Some people are saying that they're happy that they get to work. This is sad to me. It makes me feel bad because people think their lives are just these periods of time where they're born and they make their boss rich and they die. That's not what your life is about. Your life is your life. It should be things that make you happy. If you enjoy doing your work, that's fine. Maybe try to find a way to still do that work while at the same time accomplishing something that makes you feel more fulfilled. If you like welding and you do welding for a job, maybe try to create some art from your welding. That kind of thing. Find a thing that you get fixated on. I get fixated on things all the time. I have my fixations. Right now, I'm kind of fixated on, I feel like I want to draw castles. I suck at drawing, but I want to do it because it makes me feel good. It makes me enjoy myself. And I feel like I'm contributing something, if not to the entire world, then at least to my own mental growth. I can feel like, okay, I've explored that, I've seen what I can do, and I can now make a decision about whether I want to continue it in the future. I probably won't keep drawing for a very long time, but I've been drawing a little bit since this started. Do those things, and do those things by yourself. If you have family, if you have a spouse or significant other, whoever it may be, involve them. But otherwise, keep yourself away from other people. Play games online. Try playing Dungeons and Dragons online. A lot of people have a lot of free time. Go get a Dungeons and Dragons book. You can pick them up from actually online retailers. Amazon usually has those for very low prices, although I typically prefer supporting friendly local gaming stores. But in this current climate that we have, I would recommend that you simply order from Amazon, take advantage of that discount, or you can buy Dungeons and Dragons books from their own websites that they accommodate. So you might as well go try doing that. You've never played Dungeons and Dragons before, try it. Do something new. Play some board games. Board games are great. I love playing co-op video games. Don't get me wrong. My favorite hobby is video games. But go try playing a board game. I love playing board games. It's the best thing you can do in these times because, yeah, sure, you're going to be touching things, but if it's just you and your spouse who are going to be sleeping in the bed anyways, you're going to have a lot of fun, and you'll probably be surprised at just how much fun it can be. Don't play Monopoly. I don't recommend Monopoly. But, play something like Scrabble. I love Scrabble. Just keep yourself entertained. If you don't work, keep yourself busy at home, keep yourself entertained, and wash your hands, get in the shower, wash your butt. If you run out of toilet paper, learn how learn how Filipinos. I'm married to a Filipina. So when you marry a Filipino person, you marry their whole family. That's how things go with them. And Filipinos, they don't use toilet paper. They use this bucket. They call it a tabo. And it's literally just a bucket that you fill with hot water and you wash your ass crack with it when you take a shit. That's what Filipinos do. Do that if you run out of toilet paper. You don't need toilet paper to keep your ass clean. It's so weird to me that so many people are like, I ran out of toilet paper. What do I do? Wash your ass. If you can't wipe your ass, wash your ass. If you're at work, hopefully your work is stocking toilet paper. My work does. Some people's may not. It's kind of unfortunate, but that's just how things go. But that's an entirely different issue anyways. If they're out of toilet paper and they don't have tabos, you're kind of screwed. But wash your ass when you take a shit. Anyways, I've been meaning to have this rant for like a week now, and I'm done. By the way, don't die for your capitalist overlords. Do not go back to work just because they want their stocks to go back up. Don't do it. Other than that, thanks for listening. This probably wasn't very interesting to watch, but thank you for listening to me rant. Y'all have a good day, night, whatever it may be, and I hope you'll come back and check up with me again.